What's up, guys? This is Anime Crossover. I'm back with another episode of What If Naruto Was Trained by the Dragon King of the Sea Part 3. And if you did enjoy this video, give this video a like and comment down below. And if you're new to my channel and like my content, subscribe and hit that notification bell for more crossover fictions with a twist. Now let's begin this new video.
The Anguish of Losing a Friend, Chapter 9. The Heartbreak of Losing a Friend. You two are taking this rivalry too far. Heck, you fight Natsu more than Gray, and that's saying something, Kurama said to Naruto, who was wearing bandages and stared at Natsu, who returned it. Natsu, Lisanna doesn't want you fighting, and don't forget about Erza. When Happy heard Erza's name, Natsu paled. Why do those two fight? Lisanna inquired of Kana, who simply shrugged. Natsu's fire and Naruto's water are natural opposites, Gray said, leading Lisanna to freak out and Kana to yell at the ice-wielding youngster. Gray, your clothes. Gray yelled, anxiously searching for his garments. Gray's habit was getting out of hand, the females groaned. When they overheard Natsu and Naruto taunting each other again, Lisanna had had enough and confronted them. Stop fighting, you two. They wouldn't listen, so Lisanna came up with an idea that made Naruto stop. Hey Naruto, if you stop fighting Natsu, I'll get you some ramen. Naruto quickly stopped fighting, as his desire for ramen outweighed his desire to battle his fellow moron. Oi Natsu, let's fight another time, I'm going to pig out on some ramen. Natsu smacked Naruto across the brow with his own. Not if I beat you to it. Everyone fell down with amused smiles. Lisanna sat by the two while they gorged themselves, Naruto on ramen and Natsu on steak. Lisanna smiled at them both, making them blush. Thanks, Lisanna. They both said as they gazed at one another. Stop copying me, bastard. They assaulted each other again and tore their guild apart. Naruto. Natsu. When Erza appeared, they both did the only thing they could think of. They ran like little girls. Nonetheless, she pounded their heads with her fists. After that, Lisanna nursed them back to health. Honestly, no more fighting. Alright, Lisanna said, as Naruto returned her smile. Fairy Tale Ost Destiny, X782. Now you two, I don't want to see you guys fight when I get back, a more adult Lisanna said as she walked away from the two. I'll be watching you both. The two boys exchanged glances before returning her gesture. A few days later, Naruto and Natsu come to find a crying Mirajane and her brother, as well as numerous guild members. Both had wide eyes as they learned that Lisanna, their dearest friend in the entire world, had died. Both dug their own graves for their friend and began talking to each other. Remember when we first met? Natsu, you and I never got along at all. We fought like cats and dogs. Yeah, Erza beat us both so badly, and Lisanna was our first real friend. She didn't want us to fight, but we didn't listen, the muffler-wearing man said as the rain began to fall. So bygones be bygones, Naruto said, extending his hand as Natsu considered Naruto's offer. Natsu shook his hand and said, for Lisanna. Natsu responded, for Lisanna. Old end, return to the present. Mira still sings beautifully, I wouldn't have thought it a few years ago, but now it's like it suits her. Kurama said as Naruto closed his eyes and hummed in harmony. That is until Mira stopped and Gajeel appeared with a white suit, hat, and guitar. What the hell? Both Naruto and Natsu exclaimed. Gajeel began singing, which caused them both, as well as practically everyone else in the guild, to close their ears. What shitty music! Gajeel exclaimed as he hurled his instrument at Natsu, sparking another scuffle. Hideout of the Demon Blades, Lord Riku, we have returned. Esdeath was kneeling in front of her leader, and Silva was doing the same. Riku beckoned for them to get up and began speaking. Esdeath, I have an important task for you. The strong woman listened closely. Riku looked around at the others. You may all depart. I wish to speak with Esdeath alone. They all departed, Silva looking at them as he did so. Your son is rude. Staring when he shouldn't, naughty boy, Riku said, remaining deadpan. He doesn't trust you Esdeath, after all, you killed your last boss. Esdeath flashed him a wicked look. I found the name of the person you were looking for, but it's useless now. Esdeath's eyes narrowed and she grew infuriated. What? What do you mean? I only joined this group because you promised me her location. How da? She felt strong pressure and decided not to push her luck. You have no right to demand anything from me. I will explain. It doesn't matter because she is dead. The blue-haired woman twitched as her entire existence became tainted by overwhelming emotions. However, her legacy lives on. What do you mean by that? She asked, her voice frigid. She trained a couple of students, and I happen to know where they are. Esdeath's nasty grin returned, and she laughed maniacally. Apartment of Lucy. It's good to be back in my apartment. Now how am I going to pay for this month's rent? Oh well, a nice long shower can help me, Lucy said as she opened the door to discover Naruto devouring her dinner with a sleeping Kurama. Yo Lucy, he said, waving at her. Alert, intrusion, damn you, Lucy slammed Naruto into a sleeping Kurama. Not you, too. Why are you here? Happy asked me to find Natsu, who, by the way, is sleeping in your bed, Lucy said, pulling back the blanket to expose a sleeping Natsu. And give you this flyer, Lucy said, taking it and reading it. Miss Fairy Tale Contest, this could work, she said with a malicious grin, then turned to Natsu and began shaking him to rouse him awake. What's the matter with her? Naruto just shrugged and dragged Kurama away. How on earth can he sleep like this? He even fell asleep while eating a piece of chicken once. Naruto dropped his friend off and went to fetch some food. Need something, Naruto? Makarov and Mira were carrying groceries when Naruto turned around. He made a shaky motion with his head. I was just hungry, so I was looking for a place to eat since you weren't in the guild, Mira. I hadn't had ramen in a few hours. His guild master and guildmate both sweated. You need some help, Mira. Naruto offered to carry the groceries instead of Makarov, which Mira welcomed. Makarov advanced as Naruto snatched them away from him. They passed past various stores on their way back, one of which sold costumes. A jester costume, I could wear this to Fantasia. What do you think, Mira? She thought as she glanced at the costume. No, purple isn't your color, but that looks more like your style, she said, pointing to a kabuki mask and orange kimono, which made the blonde mage's eye twitch. Sure. Next thing you know, I'll be a ninja in an orange jumpsuit yelling believe it all the time, and my friends will be a lazy genius, a guy who has a fetish for male dogs, and a guy who gets angry when he's called fat. Naruto scratched his head. Ah. Come on, Naruto, and besides, if you ever want ramen again, you have to wear that on Fantasia, she joked as Naruto's eyes became white. She may have changed, but she's still pure evil. Naruto nodded, not wanting to live in a world without ramen. The location of Laxus, you've returned, so we can get back to business, Laxus said as his three disciples appeared. Evergreen, a brunette woman wearing spectacles in a green dress, was the first to appear. Her guild mark is located on the upper right breast. The second was a man dressed as a jester, Night Mix. He was surrounded by wooden tiki figures that spoke back to him. This was Bixlo, and he'd left his imprint on his tongue. Finally, the green-haired freed Justine was identified by a mark on the back of his left hand. Thunder God Tribe, move out. Laxus and his gang walked away, their path lined with bad intentions. The following day, Magnolia, you're out of luck, Gray. You can't use your magic here. Let's go, babies. Bixlo's dolls began to radiate green energy until they all heard a voice. Sea Dragon's Roar. Naruto's spell struck Bixlo and his puppets. Gray noticed Naruto as Freed's charm vanished. What's going on here, Gray? Gray revealed everything. Laxus and his Thunder Tribe have now entrapped Lucy and the other Miss Fairy Tale contestants and placed them against each other. However, due to Freed's rune magic, Makarov, Natsu, and Gajeel were unable to participate. Freed also used his enchantments to acquire a significant advantage over the others. That bastard. I'm glad I spent the day trying to wake Kurama up at home now, so it's just Evergreen, Freed, and that coward himself, they both said before being cut off by Laxus's voice. Is that so, Naruto? They wondered, turning to see a projection of Laxus. Then come to Cardia Cathedral Uzumaki and face me one-on-one. He vanished as Naruto turned to face Gray. I don't trust that guy, Gray, so I'll go alone for the time being. It could be a trap, and you're injured from fighting Bixlo. I can still fight Naruto, and I want a chance at him. Just give me a few minutes and I'll recover, Naruto said as water accumulated on his feet. Sorry, but he's mine, Naruto said as Gray tried to stop him. You're a crazy blonde. Don't die, Naruto. Gray continued forward. Meanwhile, a specific redhead was released from her stone jail, and a masked man started strolling around town. Erza Scarlet and Mistogen have entered the Fairy Tale War. Cathedral of Cardia, Laxus, this is insane. This ancient spell would destroy a normal person's mind. You can't mean to use this against Naruto. Freed nearly missed a flash of lightning as Laxus cast a malevolent stare at him. Either you're with me or against me, Freed, and there's no turning back now that you've helped me take out the rest of the trash. Fearful of his commander, Freed nodded, but it did nothing to alleviate the guilt he felt or was about to feel. Laxus. Both magicians exclaimed as Naruto kicked the doors open. You've gone too far. Fight me, you coward. Naruto yelled as Laxus smirked. Time to put you down, Uzumaki. Activate ancient magic, Jigoku no Sakai. Naruto was enveloped by black runes until he was entirely surrounded by a black sphere. From within the sphere, "Where am I?" Naruto asked, standing in what appeared to be empty space. Naruto. When Naruto saw his parents in front of him, he began to cry. "Mom. Dad." Naruto sprinted towards them until they exploded into flames. "Mom. And Dad. Why are you worried, Naruto?" Makarov asked, holding out his hand for Naruto to take, only for him to tell Kushina and Minato's fate. "Gramps." Naruto couldn't mourn because he was now in a graveyard. A graveyard? But why? He was standing in front of a grave he recognized. Lisanna's. "No, please no," Lisanna said, raising her hand. "Naruto, you failed. You failed, and now I have to die again." Lisanna screamed in despair. "Damn you, Uzumaki," says the narrator. Lisanna no. Naruto felt his skin decay as several ghouls appeared alongside his guildmates with red eyes. "You let me die," exclaimed Kushina, while Minato grabbed his right arm. "You're not a son of mine." Minato growled at Naruto. The right side of Naruto's face started to peel away, revealing Laxus's face. "Weak. And to think I thought of you as a brother once." Natsu's voice followed, degrading Naruto. Naruto examined his left hand for Natsu's eye. "Lisanna died because of you. Your dragon parent would be ashamed of you." Naruto cried out, a bloody tear streaming down his cheek. Returning to the actual world, Naruto was perfectly still, but his expression was blank, and blood poured from his mouth. Laxus's eyes softened for a fraction of a second before hardening. "I don't care what happens to him because he's not my comrade." "Freed, take out the rest of the trash." Evergreen just fell too, she failed. As he went out of the cathedral, Freed nodded. "I'm sorry, Naruto," Freed said as he left to deal with his fellow guild members. Mistogen arrived a few minutes later and discovered Naruto's condition. "Naruto." Mistogen approached the blonde, sensing that he was under a spell. "Laxus, what have you done?" he shouted of the other blonde, who laughed. "He's of no concern to me, our fight is more important, but I'll let you free him because he's already broken." Laxus grinned, though his heart sank. "I release you from this spell, Naruto." Mistogen yanked Naruto free with his staff. Naruto's face returned to normal, but he passed out shortly after. "Laxus, you have truly fallen. I did not think you were capable of this. Turn off the Thunder Palace now, and the damage to Naruto can be reversed." "Forget all that, you and me, who is the strongest, I wonder?" Mistogen was well aware that this was going nowhere. "Fine, Laxus, prepare to face magic like you've never seen before." Mistogen engaged in a violent combat with Laxus. At the same time as the other fairy tale members. Cardia Cathedral and Naruto's already there. That blonde bastard wants to fight Laxus alone? Natsu ran alongside Erza as they made their way to the mentioned spot. "I can't blame him after what Laxus has done. I just hope he's okay, we're here." Both mages kicked in the door and spotted Mistogen standing in front of Laxus. "Who's that?" Natsu inquired, to which Erza replied, "That's Mistogen." Laxus took advantage of the diversion to blast Mistogen and show his face. It was Jelal, Erza's old friend, or it appeared to be Jelal. Jelal. "Why, you're alive," Erza said as she stared at Mistogen. "I never wanted you to find out this way, least of all you Erza. I'm not Jelal, at least not the one you knew, and I'll leave the rest to you." Mistogen vanished into mist. Erza. Erza remained terrified, but another cry from Natsu made her feel better. "Erza." She snapped out of her trance and looked at Laxus. They both suddenly found Naruto on the floor, bleeding from his mouth. "Naruto," they both said as they knelt by him. "Laxus, what did you do to him?" asked the scarlet-haired woman of her fellow wizard. "Oh, nothing. Just an ancient spell that destroys the victim's mind, that old story." Their eyes expanded until they narrowed, that they were interrupted by a coughing sound. "Well, it's a good thing it didn't destroy my mind then," Naruto said, struggling to stand. "Ouch." "Well, not completely," Naruto grumbled as he wiped his mouth. "You really tried to break me, Laxus. You're not the person I used to look up to anymore." "Naruto, whatever he did obviously had an effect on you. Please let us handle this," Erza urged, but Naruto shrugged. "Oh no, messing with my head is one thing, but..." Naruto drank, or rather ate, a bottle of water. "Hurting our friends and messing with the guild is unforgivable. I can still fight. Let me Erza, hell, I'll even let Natsu help me." Natsu developed a tick mark and clashed with Naruto. "The hell with that. If anything, you can help me fight Fishcake." Naruto had tick marks on his body. "Oh yeah, matchstick? At least Laxus never beat me with one punch." Erza just laughed at their antics, while Laxus shivered. "Do they even realize what's going on? He removed his headgear and coat. Who's it going to be? Laxus smirked, cracking his knuckles. Naruto, Natsu, you two deal with the lacrima that's forming the Thunder Palace, Natsu replied in his customary hushed tone. We can't because we'll be fried by the lightning, Erza realized. Organic linked magic, you didn't Laxus, said individual smirked and answered that Erza was correct. Can I trust you guys to beat him? She asked, looking at Natsu and Naruto, who both nodded. Fine, I'll deal with Thunder Palace and leave the rest to you, Erza said as she exited through the entrance while the three sparred. Fairy Tail Ost power released, fight. Natsu jumped first, igniting both his hands and legs in a flurry of kicks and fists against the veteran mage. With a crack, Laxus grabbed Natsu's left arm and pushed him to the ground. He's not fighting alone, bastard. Naruto slammed his entire body into his stomach, killing him. Laxus, on the other hand, linked his arms around Naruto's stomach and lifted him up before blasting him with a lightning-enhanced powerbomb. Natsu grabbed Laxus and flipped him over his shoulder as Naruto spewed blood from his mouth. Laxus skidded on his heels as Natsu accelerated with his flames. Not terrible, but... Laxus changed to lightning and followed him behind. You're 100 years too early to beat me. Laxus pushed him back and then unleashed a tremendous lightning blast on Naruto. Old end, Naruto. Natsu feared Laxus had annihilated his companion, but Gajil's voice informed him differently. Don't worry, Salamander, I've got him. Gajil dropped down, Naruto slung over his shoulder. Can you stand Knight? Naruto said as Gajil released him. Thanks. That previous spell did a number on me. I must exercise caution. Wait, did Gajil just call me Knight? Naruto stumbled out of bed. I hate to say it, but all three of us need to work together to beat him. Natsu looked at him as if he were insane. Look at him, is he the same Laxus you know? No, he's willing to destroy us all. Laxus's eyes went white, and lightning swirled over his body. I'll kill you bastards. Laxus charged the three, without giving them an opportunity to respond. They were able to avoid his strike. Looks like we don't have much a choice, Natsu. Let's do it. Fairy Tail Ost Shishi no Rei, Salamander, we'll get close to him. Gajil and Natsu started sparring with the insane Laxus. Natsu was knocked back by Laxus's lightning-enhanced uppercut, leaving Gajil more vulnerable to Laxus's assault. Coral Pillar. Naruto constructed a coral pillar. Gajil tried to get away from Laxus. Gajil was able to push himself away as Naruto issued an order to Natsu. Natsu, break the pillar now. Natsu used his fired augmented fists to smash it, then flung the splintered pieces towards Laxus repeatedly. Pathetic and futile, screamed Laxus, shattering them all. Naruto smirked as Laxus relaxed his guard. Really? I don't think so. Gajil now. Laxus was taken aback when Gajil was immediately underneath him. Iron Dragon's Club. Gajil stretched his club and smacked Laxus across the face. Got you, bastard. Gihi. Gajil ducked as Natsu and Naruto released Dragon's Roar. Oi, you're trying to kill me, idiots. Laxus slowly began to rise, which Gajil noticed and countered with his own Dragon's Roar. Old end, tough bastard, but we got him, Gajil panted before Laxus's voice cut them off. I don't think so, Laxus said since his shirt was ripped and he was simply muddy from the struggle. What? Asked Naruto. And no way, Natsu exclaimed. Do you call yourselves dragon slayers? Let me show you how powerful a dragon truly is. I had to hide this from the old man, but I will reveal my true power to you. The rest of Laxus's shirt was ripped apart as his muscles and physique enlarged, and scales appeared on his arms. He's a dragon slayer, I say. Laxus charged up a powerful assault, all three thought. Take a real roar. Lightning Dragon's Roar. Laxus unleashed a strong strike, forcing the three to retreat. Naruto built a coral wall, flanked by Gajil and Natsu. They touched his shoulders and pooled their magic to repel the attack. The dust has cleared, and we can see our three mages on the ground. They were still alive and terribly hurt, Gajil and Naruto. Naruto, primarily because the spell Laxus put on him a while ago was still having an effect, and Gajil absorbed the brunt of Laxus's final assault. Natsu was on the verge of standing up. You guys are gluttons for punishment. Let me show you the power of the guild masters who commanded Fairy Tail, Laxus said, placing one hand on top of the other. As Laxus charged up a powerful spell, a powerful light appeared. The Law of Fairies. Old Fairy Law, with this, I will destroy you all, and all of Magnolia will fall, he yelled as his power grew. That's Gramps' magic, Natsu said as the other two sensed Laxus's might. Levi appeared out of nowhere, panting heavily and with a troubled expression on her face. Master, your grandfather is on the verge of death. Laxus's eyes reverted to normal. The others were taken aback by Levy's statement. Please, go see your grandfather before it's too late. This is ideal. I guess I'm back in the running for Guildmaster. Laxus, you damn bastard, Naruto exclaimed, with Natsu becoming infuriated and Gajeel stunned to the core. Be gone. The light enveloped the entire town, and it was revealed a moment later that nothing had happened to anyone. Old end. Why didn't it work? Naruto inquired of Levy, who had no notion, and a voice behind them began to explain. I know why, Freed said, stretching his arm out to them. Freed, Levy said as the green-haired man struggled to stand. No one has been killed, but the guild members have been knocked out from dealing with Thunder Palace. Kurama is also assisting by treating their wounds, Freed explained. Way to go, Fuzzball. Naruto thought as his sidekick performed a helpful task instead of his typical pranks. You can lie, but your magic can't. Fairy law only affects those whom the caster considers to be enemies. Inside your heart, you care about your friends, and you inherited more than your grandfather's power. The lightning dragon slayer's crazy appearance returned. Sit down. Laxus, not that old man's grandson. Lightning encircled his body once more. We already know who that jerk is. It has nothing to do with being Gramps' grandson. We've never treated you any differently than we treat each other. You're just a jerk. We're all part of the same family in fairy tale. Laxus's eyes grew white again as he charged, which was not Natsu's best move. Laxus. Natsu charged with fresh zeal towards Laxus. They took the fight to the rooftops, and Natsu was losing ground. They both became their elements, lightning and fire colliding. Natsu landed a right hook on Laxus, who countered with a left and then grabbed Natsu's head, sending him backwards. Lightning Dragon's breakdown fist. Laxus punched the air, unleashing a lightning blast in the shape of a fist towards Natsu that hit him square in the face. Even if everyone in the guild dies, even if the guild disbands, you'll never be guild master, hissed Laxus. I'll end you now, then, Laxus said, raising his hands and forming a huge lightning spear to hurl at the weakened Natsu. Laxus, don't do it. In his condition, Natsu will die from that attack. Laxus didn't listen as he flung the spear that also functioned as a thunderbird. It came to a halt, though, and was directed at Gajeel, who had twisted his arm into a club. He converted himself into a lightning rod, thought Freed, noticing Naruto was no longer by their side. Theme from Fairy Tail, Oi bastard. Laxus spun around to see Naruto standing behind him, arms linked yet apart. Sea Dragon's shockwave. Naruto utilized his magic to strengthen his assault and sent Laxus flying towards Natsu with a devastating shockwave. Go Natsu! Screamed Naruto and Gajeel to their comrade. Natsu unleashed a volley of fists, followed by a chin kick. Fire Dragon's wing attack. Natsu ignited his arms in a crossing motion. He charged forward and swung them, killing Laxus with deadly precision and sent him flying. Crushing Fang. Natsu scribbled on the blonde's chest, leaving marks. Iron Fist. A tremendous uppercut followed by a flame elbow landed. I hope this brings you back to your senses, Laxus. Fire Dragon's brilliant flame. Natsu threw a big fireball that exploded, successfully knocking out Laxus. Hell yeah! Exclaimed Natsu to the heavens as he beat Laxus. A little time skip in the end of Ost, Natsu, Gajeel, and Naruto sat on a bench within the guild, each dressed in bandages. MJGJJSAFHCJCX. Because Natsu's mouth was bandaged, he could only murmur. Oi, calm down, Natsu. We're too injured to participate in Fantasia. Natsu grumbled even more. How the hell should I know? Naruto and Gajeel could understand Natsu in some ways, which Lucy and Happy noted. It's no wonder that Naruto speaks like a moron. But, Kurama thought as he saw the source of the trouble. Laxus's arrival at the guild caused a commotion. He desired to visit Makarov, who had survived his tragedy. Erza allowed it since she could see the difference in Laxus's face with just one look. Natsu, being the man he was interrupted. He murmured his words again, but no one understood him, turning the guild white with embarrassment. He said he won't accept the beating he gave you because it wasn't one-on-one. He expects a fight Laxus, and frankly, so do I. Laxus extended his hand in respect. Now he stops being a jackass. Idiot. Naruto sat back down, knowing that Fantasia will begin in a few hours. The position of Orion, Zabuza escaped, but I have his blade. Orion used a lacrima to contact Riku, who seemed irritated despite speaking in monotone. Unacceptable, you are to find him and kill him. I need him dead because he is tarnishing our name. Fail me again, and I'll allow S-Death to torture you before I personally end it. When Riku hung up on him, Orion felt like he was about to pee himself. S-Death I can handle, But Riku, the devil himself, Orion said, drawing his own sword. After all, my own father fell to him. Day of the Fantasia parade. Many guild members dressed up for the parade. Gray and Juvia dressed up as royalty and built an ice palace. Mirajane sprung from a flower and transformed into a lizard. Lucy, Bisca, and Levi were all standing together. Natsu walked out, his flames spelling out, Fairy Tale, Naruto, like Natsu, used water to form the guild's insignia. Laxus grinned as he watched from a distance, recalling a childhood gesture. Slow version of Fairy Tale's main theme. What? His grandfather, perched atop the stage, exclaimed. The gesture alone conveyed a message. Wherever you may be, no matter how far you are, I will always be looking. Laxus noticed everyone else in Fairy Tale making the same motion. Even Naruto, whom he tortured with his spell. Gramps, Laxus shouted as he set out on a new adventure. Unknown place, East End, bless him. Riku, don't you want to get rid of me because I know your secret? Zabuza was in a cave, blood streaming from his mouth. He was covered with bruises and scrapes, and his sword was broken. When he stood up, he noticed the rain. Someone will put a stop to your insane desires. Even Orochimaru was opposed to them. I'll expose you. Oi! Quit hogging the food, bastard. Naruto and Natsu were fighting over a drumstick while eating multiple meat dishes. Kurama leapt up and grabbed it from their grasp, consuming the entire drumstick, including the bone. Pay attention, you two, Mirajane said as she began to explain that a coordinated operation with 3 other guilds had been planned to take down one of the big 3 dark guilds. The Oracion Seis had only 6 members, but that only made them more powerful in their own right. They also have dark guilds working for them, which means we have a small army to fight, so be on the lookout. Sometime later, while on the way to Blue Pegasus Mansion. This sucks. Both Naruto and Natsu exclaimed in the carriage. Naruto's magic appears to be limited in its use and will soon lose its effectiveness. Natsu, Lucy, Gray, Happy, and Naruto himself were dispatched. Kurama snuck into the carriage and despised it, unbeknownst to them. You're just as pitiful as Natsu, Naruto said, glaring at him. See careful, Fullbuster, or I'll puke on you. Gray snickered, but saw the glitter in Naruto's eyes and prudently remained silent. When they arrived at Master Bob's mansion, they were greeted by 3 men posing. The Trimans, Hibiki Lates, Ren Akatsuki, and Eve Storm were among them. They proceeded to pamper Lucy, despite the fact that her flirtations bothered her and she gently declined their kindness. So you have arrived, my dear fairies, a voice said, causing them to gaze up to the steps and see a short, orange-haired man with a round nose and cleft chin. I am Ichiya Vandalay Kotobuki, leader of the Trimans, and... Where is my darling Erza? Darling Erza! Cried the fairy tale wizards, who began to wonder if Erza had indeed gone out with the strange man. The Trimans worshipped the ground. Ichiya walked on, even if he only reprimanded them for being silly. He started to slide down but tripped on the last part and flew towards the door. Pathetic. A silver-haired guy stopped Ichiya from going any further, but also froze his head. Leon Vastia was the name of this individual. Leon was Gray's childhood friend and disciple. They both learned ice make magic from their master who sealed the demon Deliora, the same monster who murdered Gray's parents, with a powerful spell. Years later, they reconnected on Galuna Island, and Leon regained his sanity. He threw Ichiya to the ground, breaking the ice on his face. Leon! Gray exclaimed in front of the others, as Leon also exclaimed Gray's name in surprise. Leon's teammate, Sherry, also made her presence known by summoning a beast from the ground, which Natsu easily annihilated. Sherry was on Leon's team and had a brief altercation with Lucy. Enough, Leon, Sherry, said a bald-headed man dressed in Egyptian, Mayan garb with oval-shaped marks above his eyes. It's Iron Rock, Jura. The 10th Wizard Saint, everyone exclaimed as he returned their gaze. What? As a soon-to-be future Wizard Saint, I need to do my research. This surprised the fairy tale wizards because they knew Naruto wasn't the sort to research anything. You researched it? Naruto, are you okay? Lucy inquired as Naruto responded angrily. Oi! I'm not that retarded. He realized what he had just said. Forget what I just said. The point is, I'm smarter than you think. Jura was the only one who kept mute, though he did smile at Naruto's ability to relieve stress. Settle down everyone, we still have to wait for Kate Shelter's representative. This drew everyone's attention to the bald man, especially Naruto. Excuse me, old man Jura, but did you say Kate Shelter? Lucy and the others, with the exception of Natsu, chastised him for his rude demeanor, especially after recognizing Jura as a wizard saint earlier. Yes, they said they would only send one mage, they proceeded to argue why Kate Shelter would send just one mage when they were startled by the sound of someone tumbling down. As he recognized the person, Naruto's eyes widened. "Wendy!" the girl exclaimed, looking up to see her friend standing above her, his hand extended to assist her. Instead of accepting his hand, she hugged him, causing him to fall to his knees. "Naruto. I missed you." Naruto grinned shyly as he wiped his head and grabbed her with one arm. "I missed you too, but do you think you can get off of me? We're on a mission, after all." Wendy looked around and sprang up, brushing off her clothing. Her outfit included a yellow, blue-striped dress that came up to her knees and was adorned with wing ornaments, as well as sandals. Her debut outfit, except bigger, and because she's Edalus Wendy, she'd certainly cause nosebleeds. The Trimans tried to approach her, but Naruto stopped them. "You perverts better not even look at her while I'm here," Naruto said as the blue-haired girl flushed and returned. Both started talking to each other as though they were old friends who had known each other their entire lives. The fairy tale wizards took notice of this. Naruto is genuinely speaking to a woman, Happy and Lucy thought to themselves, shocked and awestruck. Has hell frozen over because Naruto is genuinely chatting to a cute girl? Gray wondered as he looked at them together. At the very least, she isn't like Juvia. Her power reminds me of somewhere, but where? Natsu thought as he looked at the girl, puzzled. Wendy caught him staring at her and waved back, still smiling like Naruto. "Oi Natsu. Meet Wendy, the Sky Dragon Slayer." Wendy, Natsu, the Fire Dragon Slayer. Everyone in the room, except Naruto and Jura, opened their jaws. "Heathen, unhand Wendy now," said a voice as a white female cat with wings approached them. Happy had hearts for eyes right away, while another presence came. "What did I miss?" Kurama asked, waving his 9 tails. This forced Naruto to accept responsibility for his partner's arrival. "Kurama, Carla," they both exclaimed simultaneously. "You followed me?" they both asked at the same time. "You go first, Wendy," he said, nodding. "You followed me, Carla. But why?" Wendy's white-furred cat said that she thought Wendy needed help because she was shy. "Excuse me, Carla, but Wendy is strong. Her Sky Dragon's roar helped me take down a guy named Sasori," Leon said, astonished by Naruto's assertion. "Do you mean Sasori the master puppeteer?" Naruto replied, nodding. "Wendy said she was originally a support type, but now she's fierce. She's stronger than you think, Carla." Carla scoffed as Wendy smiled gratefully at Naruto, though neither could see Carla's faint smile. "So, why are you here, Kurama?" Naruto said, but was met with a blank stare as he noticed Kurama fast sleeping. "Hey Kurama." A sexy vixen is strutting her stuff. Kurama awoke immediately, only to see Naruto whistle innocently. "You jackass. Okay, I just got bored and wanted a piece of the action," Naruto said as Kurama nodded off again. "Does anyone have a marker?" Hibiki said as he drew the fox's face with the marker. Kurama now has a clown face and a kick me sign written on him. That'll teach him not to sleep when someone is talking to him. Ichiya coughed to catch everyone's attention and proceeded to outline their plan of action until he decided to confess that he needed the toilet, creating a large amount of sweat droplets. "So Wendy, you're a dragon slayer as well." Natsu began a discussion as Naruto saw what was happening and interrupted. "Natsu, her parent also vanished on the same date," Naruto said as he tugged Natsu along with him, challenging the Trimans to make a play on Wendy. Naruto was aware that bringing up Grandini would trigger painful memories, and he didn't want to see her upset. Ichiya returned and told them about Nirvana, a terrible magic created centuries ago that was the purpose of the Oracion Seis. They were able to see photographs and information on each of the Oracion Seis by using Hibiki's archive. The initial objective was to locate their base and bomb it using Blue Pegasus airship Christina, while also taking advantage of their numerical advantage. "Screw the plan. I'm going to beat the shit out of them myself." Natsu stormed out of the mansion, leaving everyone stunned, except the fairy tale wizards, who knew Natsu was dangerous. "Oi! Don't leave without me." Lucy and Gray swatted Naruto, calling him a fool. Wendy went to Naruto and checked for injuries. Wendy flushed as he said, "I'm fine Wendy, thanks for checking on me." "She adores you." Lucy and Happy thought in unison. Carla gazed on in horror. The Trimans were bereaved. Sherry sprouted stuff about love. Leon was impassive. Gray was surprised, and Jura simply stayed neutral. Ichiya's perception was incorrect, which only one person could detect due to his unusual talents. Except for Ichiya, Kurama, and Jura, the rest of the group. "Sir Jura, may I ask you one main question?" Jura nodded in response to Ichiya's request. "Is it true that you are one of the wizard saints, as young Naruto indicated?" "Yes, I am, but I consider myself to be the weakest of the 10, and I am certainly nowhere near Master Makarov's level." Ichiya nodded in understanding and surreptitiously took out a vial. Now we can get rid of him. Because the scent incapacitated Jura, angel of the Oracion Seis, appeared and smirked at the struggling wizard saint's current appearance. Ichiya transformed into two blue creatures known as the celestial spirits Gemini. Ichiya was quickly knocked out after the spirits dubbed him a pervert. Now, to get rid of you, Iron Rock, Jura. She pulled out a knife, but an aura made them all tremble. The puppeteer, Hunter x Hunter 2011 Ost, through pressure, the spirits fell to the ground, Angel dropped and sweated profusely, and Jura was no longer affected by the perfume but felt incredible pressure, sweating slightly. They all noticed Kurama, whose face was obscured by shadows and his eyes were bright red. YUCCANT-BBE, Gemini exclaimed as they sensed Kurama's bloodlust, which caused the animals outside to scatter. The bloodlust was a small part of Kurama's strength and only affected the immediate surroundings. At the tail end and to the location of Alliance members. Natsu. Quit running, you idiot. Gray yelled as they rushed to catch up. The Trimans were monitoring them from above in their airship Christina. Why can't you just catch up with him, Naruto? I mean, you're the fastest mage in Fairy Tail, Lucy asked, and Naruto nodded. Alright, I'll use Aqua Jet to catch up, Naruto said as he shot out in a tremendous burst of water, leaving the others behind. He got past Natsu and stood in front of him, prompting him to come to a halt. You had to rush off, didn't you? Natsu, there's a difference between being strong and arrogant. And look you made ever. An explosion interrupted his words, and the Alliance members witnessed Christina burning and collapsing. Both Fairy Tail mages, followed by the rest of the Alliance, made their way to Christina's crash site. The Trimans were still alive but damaged, having escaped the crash moments before it happened. Naruto attempted to approach, but was stopped by an approaching strike from the Cobra. He was perched atop his pet snake Cubelios. Aqua Jet. Racer attempted to hit the blonde again, but Naruto was too quick. Gray now. Gray launched his Ice Make, lance at Racer, sending him flying, but Cobra managed to catch Racer. He's fast. Your magic didn't work on him, Cobra said to his friend who was wiping the blood from his mouth. To think someone is that fast that my magic is useless. Even if I were double the effect, it wouldn't do much good. They were unaware of the Dragon Slayer's excellent hearing, despite Cobra's own. What effect are you two talking about? Naruto asked another question, but not for them. Hey, Natsu, Wendy, did you hear them? Yeah. And what effect are you guys talking about? Natsu exclaimed, as Wendy nodded in response to Naruto's question. The two Oracion Seis wizards' jaws widened to comedic proportions as a result of this. How the hell did they hear us? Mumbled Arcier, but the mages still heard him. Because Dragon Slayers have really good hearing, the two exclaimed, blinking their eyes swiftly, was the first thing they said. Did Naruto, Natsu, and Wendy make two members of Oracion Seis look like idiots? Lucy wondered, as everyone nodded in agreement. That's the two idiots' specialty. They make everything a laughingstock. Kurama, Jura, and Ichiya arrived, tying up a white-haired woman. Angel, said Cobra as he saw his companion defeated. I see you have one of our comrades captured, a voice astonished the Alliance. The ground began to melt, as an unseen enemy unleashed a massive dark green blast. Jura was able to call a stone pillar to defend themselves and restore normalcy to the ground. They were Brain and Hatai, along with Midnight, who was still sleeping. However, thanks to that brief appearance, they reclaimed Angel and removed her gag. That fox is a monster, exclaimed the Fairy Tail mages as Kurama stroked his ears, drawing their attention back to her. It's true, Jura confirmed Angel's statements, much to the surprise of Fairy Tail and the other guilds. But he's a lazy ass, Naruto exclaimed, pointing to Kurama, who became irritated and bit the young man's finger. Gghhhhhh, get him off me, get him off me, Naruto yelled, still biting Kurama's finger. He kicked Kurama off of him with his arm. Is he a moron? Seeing Naruto, the bulk of Oracion Seis thought. Little demon. Naruto returned his gaze to the opponent. Where were we? Oh right, fighting time. Wendy was next to Naruto, nervously chuckling with a small sweat drop, and was soon joined by everyone else. Wendy. You're Wendy, the Sky Maiden. Change of plans, capture the blue-haired girl. The members of Oracion Seis nodded and continued the assault. Naruto took a combat stance in front of Wendy. I won't let you hurt my friend. Wendy, let's fight together like we did last time. Wendy nodded, her eyes burning. Carla was shocked when she saw Wendy, who was generally cautious, acting so fiercely. He has a significant influence on her. Perhaps I was mistaken about him. Carla stared at the dark mages, who appeared to be ready for a fight. This time they weren't going to back down. Worth would see the forest where the base of the Oracion Seis is buried. Several bodies were found scattered throughout the area. Aragorn, previously of Eisenwald, is likewise found panting on one knee. Silva of the Demon Blades was his opponent, and his garments were stained with blood. You have foolishly challenged me, a Demon Blade member and scion of the Whirlpool. You must die for your folly. An explosion erupted, causing Silva to lean his head in the direction of the source. Fate decreed that you live to fight another day. Be grateful, he said as he walked away, index and middle fingers of his left palm on his temple. Orion, I think I have a lead. Let me know when you're done. He exited the area, but not before muttering one more thing. With the silver ring, I cannot lose. I almost forgot about the other Dragon Slayer's increased senses. You caught us off guard, but you won't be able to defeat us all. Cobra thought as they faced forth against the combined guilds. Hatai tried to soften the ground beneath him, but Jura stopped him by hardening it instead. Gray used an ice wall to stop Racer from attacking Lucy. Angel managed to free herself from her shackles by concealing a dagger. Heat cannon. A massive fireball was launched against the Guild Alliance in Oracion Seis. Silva stood next to a big cannon before returning to his sword. Wizards who dare to fight near my presence shall perish from my sight. You sound like a shitty B-movie villain. Silva gasped as he saw Natsu consume the blaze within his body and felt his power expand as a result of devouring the fire. Everyone else survived the attack, and those who had never seen Natsu in action were taken aback by his swallowing fire. Jura was impressed, while Blue Pegasus was taken aback. Members of Oracion Seis held opposing viewpoints. Midnight was still sleeping, Racer was stunned, Angel was terrified, Cobra appeared concerned, and Brain was impressed. Brain then turned to gaze at Silva and got concerned. Silva, one of the 7 demon blades. The others were taken aback, especially those who had heard of them. Another like Zabuza? The one you beat Naruto? Lucy inquired of the great knight of the sea. Silva's eyes enlarged for a split second before turning fully white, and bloodlust erupted. You are the one who has tarnished the name of the 7 demon blades, and you must be annihilated. Inside a castle, Erza's party. These dark wizards were killed just minutes ago, but who or what has done this? Erza glanced at the bodies, joined by Elfman and Juvia. There were several bodies lying about, some of whom were missing their heads. Erza threw some kunai at the wall, causing Orion's head to tilt out of the way and him to slowly emerge from behind the wall. You can sense my presence? I'm impressed. He walked out totally and pulled out his kusanagi. That's the kusanagi blade, fabled to be capable of cutting through virtually anything and originally owned by Orochimaru, the rogue saint. He possesses that weapon, so he's not someone I can take lightly. She changed into her purgatory armor and prepared to face the homicidal man. Orion's kusanagi collided with Erza's spiked mace, causing a massive shockwave. His swordsmanship is great, but he's left an opportunity. She charged, but a white tail struck her, damaging her armor. This blade is said to contain the spirit of the 8 great-headed serpent, a demon of unimaginable power. Orochimaru the rogue saint was its first wielder, and it has now been passed on to me. Erza glanced at Orion, terrified of his might but with one question she needed answered.
What was your relationship with Orochimaru? Was he your mentor? She transformed into her black wing armor and prepared her blade.
Orochimaru was my father, Orion exclaimed with delight as Erza quickly realized the scenario. I am also one of the 7 demon blades. Erza charged as Orion was enveloped by a black and white aura in the shape of a serpent, servant of the great serpent. I can't be lax against this opponent, Erza said as she began to fight Orion. Fairy Tale Ost Black Wizard's wicked heart, back with the guild's alliance. Silver Spirit Spear. Silva's silver ray transformed into a 3-bladed spear that he could manipulate with his thoughts. Naruto had to evade the spear quickly, and then Silva kicked him downwards, with Naruto crossing his arms to reduce the harm from the powerful strike. Racer attempted a sneak assault, but was hit from behind by the floating spear. Brain fired a blast of darkness at Silva, who was unable to evade in time, causing a smoke cloud to form in the air. Silva was surrounded by daggers as the fog dissipated. Blood rain, he murmured as they approached everyone, most of whom either deflected or evaded them. Naruto covered Wendy and the cats, with Lucy also taking safety behind Naruto's coral wall. Naruto and Natsu became aware of the disc Silva was standing on. Natsu. Naruto exclaimed as the fire wizard recognized him and breathed in, spewing fireballs from his mouth. Silva remade his spear, which started spinning as Natsu's constant onslaught was blocked. Silva then felt his feet give way, and he fell. Silva's command reassembled the damaged disc, and his body landed on it. Why you? He didn't get to finish because Leon took advantage and sent ice swallows, causing Silva to lose his footing in the disc to become part of his weapon. He charged towards Leon and kicked him backwards, infuriating Sherry. She built a doll out of liquefied soil, which Hatai unwittingly donated, but he changed his spear back into a sword and cut it in half. He then fought Gray with his ice blade. This blade is well crafted. Unlike S-Death's icicle, he employs maker magic in the same manner as the other. S-Death once told me of a woman who wielded this power.
Could she be related to the ice users in some way? He started to overpower Gray, who backstepped away from him and then made the motions for an assault, which Silva knew he wouldn't be able to accomplish in time. Suddenly, Tauros, one of Lucis' spirits, tried to attack him with an axe, but Silva was too quick and hit the cow man with an uppercut. Gray, on the other hand, used this to land an assault that would have killed Silva if not for his rapid reaction.
Naruto was fighting Cobra and was unable to hit him. It's as if he knows my next move just as I'm about to make it, Cobra said as his arm was covered in a tangible kind of dark vapor. He managed to scrape Naruto and cause him to take a step back. You should be feeling the effects of my poison, you will slow. He couldn't finish because Cobra was slapped face first by Naruto's water-enhanced fist. Cobra raised his head, holding his face. How? You should be in pain. Naruto asked, flinching slightly. I'm the Sea Dragon Slayer. I'm immune to poison, but your attack packed a wallop there. How about you take it more seriously here? Because otherwise you'll just make it a one-sided beatdown. He then dodged Cobra's pet snake's attack. Oh, you're one of the old generation Dragon Slayers. Then you don't stand a chance against me because... Cobra showed his purple-scaled arms. I am the Poison Dragon Slayer, a new generation Dragon Slayer. He's a Dragon Slayer, too. Natsu and Wendy were the most shocked, but they were perplexed by his claim to be of a new generation. They temporarily forget they are on a battlefield and must avoid Scorpio, one of Angel's spirits, with his sand attack. Old End. What do you mean by a new generation? Naruto asked, dodging a poison claw. Cobra decided to make him laugh and told him. I mean that, unlike you, I was implanted with a dragon lacrima, giving me power beyond yours, though I question whether dragons exist in this day and age, because from what I hear, dragons are extinct. This infuriated Naruto so much that rage overtook him and he managed to land a strike. Natsu and Wendy were both offended, even the gentle Wendy had boundaries. His wrath obscured his ideas, making it impossible for me to hear him. Master Brain warned me that underestimating a Dragon Slayer would be my undoing. Cobra continued to restrain Naruto. Meanwhile, Brain pondered what he should do in this situation. The true threat is the Demon Blade member, and from what he stated before, he wants the blonde one. Brain used his staff to summon a dark green hand to seize Wendy and, unintentionally, Kurama, who was already asleep. Retreat my Oracion Seis, says the narrator. Wendy. Naruto dashed by Cobra on his way to Wendy and Kurama. Silva, on the other hand, formed his spear and embedded it in the ground to prevent Naruto from continuing. Out of my way, bastard. Naruto tried to deliver a blow, but Silva intercepted it with his palm. You seem to be the type who rushes in head first. That kind of recklessness will eventually lead to your death. He squeezed Naruto's hand, making the blonde wince in pain, but he drew it away just as his hand snapped. He has tremendous strength. I guess he can battle without his toy. He looked at Wendy, who was still imprisoned, and tried to come up with a means to rescue her. Fortunately, Jura created a spike that pierced through Brain's spell, so he wouldn't have to do anything. Lucy caught Wendy but dropped Kurama. Ouch. Why didn't you catch me? Muttered Kurama to Lucy. Wendy and Lucy both have swirls for eyes. Naruto sighed and laughed at Kurama's expense. Are you laughing in this situation? Don't you realize you're going to die here, that you and your friends have no chance? Silva transformed his silver ray into a broadsword and grabbed it with both hands. Naruto, Gray, and Natsu all laughed. You must be an idiot if you truly believe that, Gray said, taking off his shirt to indicate he was serious. Someone like you always ends up getting ass kicked, and if you think we'll go down without a fight, you'll be surprised, Natsu said as he lit his hands on fire. Once I finish with the fake over there, he said, pointing to Cobra, who was furious. You're next, the other fairy tale wizards and even Jura said, smiling at their resolve. That's a promise, and I don't break them. You're determined, and for that, I Silva Uzumaki will make this as painless as possible. This elicited a response from everyone. Does he have the same surname as Naruto? Wendy pondered as she glanced worriedly at Naruto. Natsu and Gray were more perplexed than the rest. Uzumaki? Why do you have the same last name as me? Naruto was perplexed because he was the only one with the surname Uzumaki. Silva kept his amazement to himself. He has the same last name as me. Impossible, except for me and my father. The Uzumaki clan was wiped off a long time ago. He widened his eyes in realization. Flashback. Father, who exactly is that woman? Silva, an adolescent, inquired of Silva, who stood in front of a painting. Silva didn't seem to notice him, but a minute later, he responded to his inquisitive kid. She is my younger sister. Kushina Uzumaki passed away a long time ago. She did, however, have a son with a man named Minato. He made a somber gaze at his son, which shocked him. I believe that her child is still alive. What is his surname, father? Silva inquired, trying to be worried but feeling an anger grow up inside. Father has never expressed concern for me, but this Kushina woman and her brat have made him show more emotions than I have ever seen in my entire life. I am Naruto Uzumaki. Bring him to me if you ever locate him. He is my nephew as well as your cousin. We're the Uzumaki family, and loyalty runs in our veins. Riku explained, turning his back on his son's wicked expression. Uzumaki, Naruto, you will die at my hands. End of flashback. Nanatsu no Taizai Ost 7th edition, so, you are Naruto Uzumaki. Silva's silver ray evolved into a broadsword similar to Zabuza's blade. You cannot be allowed to live. Silva became the cold-hearted fighter he is now because he constantly sought his father's favor. Gray assaulted Naruto but was stopped by Natsu's flames, so he went on the offensive. What the hell? What about the Oracion Seis? He cut through Cobra's poison blast and prevented Racer's rapid dash. Did I underestimate my adversaries? As Natsu and Naruto landed a double uppercut, sending Silva flying, he was distracted by his thoughts. After then, Racer and Cobra managed to hit the couple, but they persisted in their attacks and resumed the struggle. Silva's spear form, on the other hand, slapped all four of them away. Then it went underground. Several bladed weapons emerged from the ground, but they all managed to avoid them. Dark Rondo, says the narrator. Brain fired a dark green blast at Silva, who transformed Silver Ray into a knight's shield, blocking the attack. Silva was starting to run out of breath. I'm beginning to feel fatigued. Perhaps fighting so many enemies was a bad idea. He started countering all of their assaults, including angels and Hoteyes. Even though they are battling each other, they are also fighting me. I was too conceited. He then hit Angel in the gut, knocking her out of the fight. Silva then saw one of Brain's marks had vanished. A seal? Interesting, old man. What are you hiding? He closed his eyes and employed one of his unique tactics. There's a hidden darkness inside this one. Power practically similar to my true strength. I wonder whether removing the seals will cause him to attack his own comrades. Old end. If these wizards hadn't been here, he would have killed us. Brain recognized Silva as distinct from previous adversaries. A tactical retreat is required. Cease Oracion, take a step back. How about Angel? Cobra inquired of their leader. Leave her. Brain had none of it and ordered them to retreat once more, leaving no space for debate. The surviving members then left the unconscious Angel alone. Silva reasoned that it would be advantageous for him right now because he could deal with the Oracion Seis later. They're abandoning their own. Lucy inquired, disgusted by the conduct of the Oracion Seis. We must obey them. We may utilize your sense of smell to find them, Sir Naruto, Sir Natsu, and Lady Wendy. However, one of us must remain behind and engage this man in combat. I'm going to fight him. Jura volunteered because he knew the Oracion Seis came first. Wait. He's only here to help me, so why shouldn't I fight him? Naruto intervened since he was the one Silva wanted to kill. Then you have even more reason not to fight him. Natsu, ironically, said everyone. I'll take him on. You've already defeated one of those demon blade guys. Allow me to fight this one. I had a feeling. All you want to do is kick his $1. Naruto wanted to protest, but Silva's air slash caught him off guard. Stop doing that. I'm attempting to strike up a dialogue with Flame Brain. He pointed towards Natsu, who became enraged. Hey. Fuck you, Little Mermaid. Naruto now has tick marks on the top of his head. As Jura built walls to protect the duo, he and Natsu decided to settle it the only way they could. They began to play rock paper scissors, causing everyone, including Silva, to fall to the ground. Kurama. Why can't you? Why do you do that all the time? Gray was irritated to see Kurama nodding off again. 1, 2, 3. Paper, rock, scissors. Natsu defeated Naruto by selecting paper over rock. Ha ha ha, he's all mine. More luck next time. You cretins. Take this very seriously. Silva's marks briefly turned red. He moved quickly and came in front of Naruto, but he was stopped by Natsu. Do you want to be serious? Then I'll fight you so badly that you'll never be able to fight again. He looked around at the others. Go after those jerks. As the others left, taking the unconscious angel with them, Natsu was holding Silva's weapon. Happy stayed behind for backup, despite the fact that, aside from his flight speed, he was ineffective in battle. Are you crazy? You struggled to fight together, let alone by yourself. To face me alone, you must be either extremely brave or extremely stupid. Natsu let go of Silva's weapon, and flames engulfed his body. My name is Natsu Dragneel, and I'm Igneel's son. Let me now demonstrate what a dragon slayer is capable of. Then he smirked. I'm really fired up. Silva and Natsu exchanged blows. Returning to Erza. Who exactly is he? Erza was on one knee, clad in her Lightning Empress armor. Her hair was let down once again, her armor was partially shattered, and her modesty was exposed. Orion, on the other hand, had a few bruises and was panting. You actually made me work hard for it. He got back up and delivered his trademark insane grin. In fight, you were able to match one snake. What about three? Erza's pupils dilated as a result of this. He enveloped himself in the same aura as previously, but this time it surrounded his body, taking the form of a humanoid. Orion's facial characteristics became more snake-like, and three snake-shaped auras appeared this time. Essentially, a black and white aura surrounds him, similar to Naruto's three-tailed form, except his tails are those snakes. Ryu's skill from Shaman King inspired the snake aura ability. I will not, under any circumstances, lose. Erza donned her most powerful armor, the Armadura Fairy Armor. In the name of Fairy Tail, I will beat you. To be continued.
That's it for this part, guys. Thanks for listening to this video. If you did enjoy this Fantasia story, like, share, and subscribe for more, and comment down below, and enjoy the rest of your day.